let's move to creating the doors and the windows. So for the door, I'll just create a cube, polycube, and then bring it to the door side. Now let's begin to do some component editing at component level. First of all, I'll take this object. Notice I've accumulated other history again. So bevel, split, and all that, bridge. We have the history here. So let's just go back and delete history, and then those are gone. So now let's take this, the new object, that's the door object. Hit spacebar, go to front view, and let's press 4 on our keyboard to switch to wireframe. Let's notice that this is our door area. So let's switch to object mode while that object, vertex mode while that object is selected. And then let's begin to match the vertices. Let's grab the top vertices, just move it up, make sure it matches the top of the door, and then grab the bottom vertices, make sure it matches the bottom of the door. Then let's grab the right vertices, match it to the right edge of the door, and then the left vertices, let's match it to the left side of the door. Okay, so that's that for the front view, but we still have other matchings to do. Notice that it's far thicker than the wall, and it ought to be smaller or less thicker than the wall. So let's go back to side view, press 4 on your keyboard, and let's zoom out and see what we have there. So let's grab the front and match it even inside, not even matching. It ought to be slimmer than the door, than the wall. So let's match it inside. Let's grab the inner one. Let's make it thinner than the wall. And then this will match as the door frame. So let's right click, go to object mode, and duplicate this object so we can use for the door. Let's press, we can move it back if we don't want to press H. So you see it doesn't get in our view. So let's take this one as the door frame. Let's right click and delete the face, delete both faces, and let's leave the boundaries, and then let's extrude the boundaries inward. So from object mode, just click extrude, and then just increase thickness into the negative side, thickness to the negative side. Something I should have done before that, I don't need the bottom thickness, so I could have just deleted the bottom. So just go to face mode, take the bottom face and delete it. Go to object mode and extrude, and then extrude inward towards the negative side. So right about here, I think -8 is perfect. So now we have the door frame created, and then the door frame is showing black because we extruded inward, not outward. So we can reverse, we can fix this by just going to mesh display and reverse, and then it's showing us our material again. So this is the door frame. Let's make sure it touches the ground. So let's go back to front view and right click to vertex mode, grab all this and just move it downward, make sure it even penetrate the ground. And let's make sure even this side from the left, sorry, grabbing everything from, let's just grab this part, the outer part of the frame, push it into the wall a little, and then the outer part from the left side, let's push it into the wall a little. Alright, this is okay. So now and the top side as well, let's push it into the wall a little. Let's take that, push it into the wall. Alright, we're okay with this. Now the door the door. So let's bring back this and make sure we match it inward now. So let's make sure it's not larger than the frame. So let's right click, vertex, bring it below the base of the frame, and then for the bottom it's okay. For the right side, let's match it so it doesn't penetrate the frame, and then let's match this one as well so it doesn't penetrate the frame. So this is cool. So now let's make sure it's positioned in the side view. Let's make sure it's positioned right about the frame, and let's scale it down a little. Let's scale it down so it's tinier than the frame. I think this, you can see our pivot is outside it's not at the center of the object. So this is always, sometimes it's good to have pivot in some certain places, but for now we want everywhere scaled so that the direction should be intact, should have a common pivot. So we're just going to center pivot and then just scale it inward a little. So this is the door frame, this is the wall, and this is the door. So I think this thickness is okay. So let's go back to our object, our perspective view, to see those variations. So this is cool. Now at some point you may want to turn on the wireframe on shaded, which is this. This is wireframe. This is shaded mode, smooth shade mode, and this is wireframe on shaded. So you can have some details. Alright, so now we have the door frame created. Let's use this door frame. Okay, let's create the door handle first. Let's create the door handle first. So I'm going to be using a cube and a cylinder. So I'll just create one cylinder, rotate it on the x-axis right about 90 degrees. So I just at 90, and then let's bring it out a little, scale it down to like 0.01. So let's see how big that is. 0.01. Really very small. So this is really very small. So let's make it like 0.05. And this is also too big. Alright. Okay. So let's make this 0.03. Alright, perfect. So this is okay. Now this is okay. So what I need to do now is to jump to the polycube history. I'll just remove this subdivision caps, change it to 0, so I can easily delete the back face. I don't need the back face, so I just take the back face, click that, delete, and then I'll just move this in. I think I'll scale it up a little, right about here. I'll just move this just slightly into it, and then I'll bevel this face. So just click your bevel tool and then just add some segment to it to just round off that side. So like 4 on the segment. And now take this and extrude once, and then click this object, this tool here, center, merge to center, to complete the splitting of the last center faces. So this is fine. I'll just delete history for that. Remember to delete history for the door frame and delete history for the door itself. So now this is created. Yes, the I need a cube, and bring that cube out. So I'll just scale this cube to right about 0.05. Oh, too small. Probably 0.1. Still too small. 0.5. Still too big. 0.2. Okay. Alright, from here, I just manually scale it. So I just want to scale Z to flatten it, and then scale Y, scale X in a little. Yeah, I'll just place it right about here. And just right about here. So I'm fine with this. I may want to bevel subject. So let's do a little bit of isolation so I can work on this. So just click this little icon here, or press Ctrl 1 on your keyboard to isolate the other object. So I'll just delete this back face. So now I just bevel that object, and then increase segment a little, and then I'm having this rounded look. So let's increase further to 3 on the segment. So it's fine. Then click that again to hide the rest. So let's fairly position it over here. Then another more cube. So let's delete the history for this guy. Delete the history for this guy. So one more cube. I'll bring that out. I'll just manually scale it in. Bring it up. Just flatten it. Okay. Make it long for the handle. So I want this to be as much flat as possible. I want one end to be flatter than the other end, so I'll just go to vertex mode. Just grab all these vertices, scale it up, and I'll just fairly place this here. And I'll subdivide this into two. So let's use multi-cut, insert edge loop tool. But in this case, we are going to insert more than one edge loop. So, alright, we can insert, but let's just insert one edge loop somewhere right about here. And then let's just move all the vertices here up just to cover it. Let's move this down now. Okay, that should be okay where it is. Move this up. And let's also scale this one in, make it slimmer. So let's double click on this edge, and then let's bevel it, screw up, bevel it, then add add segment, sorry. I'm okay with this. So let's go back to object mode. Take all the double click on all the edges here, and then hold Shift and Control and add these selections, just excluding this tree, and let's bevel it, and then add one more segment. Press 3 on your keyboard to smooth it. Go to object mode. Let's place it properly into this, right about here. So right about there. Alright, so I'm going to select these two objects and combine. You can find combine in mesh combine, the shortcut to combine, and these two objects are combined together as one. And notice it's leaving a history behind. Delete history, that goes away. So now we have door handle set up. So let's place this object and this. Let's group it, Ctrl G, and say door handle group. And then let's place this object inside the door object. So pressing this Control, press P on your keyboard to parent it. Notice that this is inside the door object. So let's label this door object. So what is door frame? So let's label these walls. So now we have door set up. Let's take from this door frame. Press Ctrl D to duplicate. Let's name it window frame. Let's grab this window frame, move it to the window side. Go to the front view. Make sure we place it exactly the way we place for the door. Let's right click this object, go to vertex mode, select all vertices at this right end. Let's move it, place it properly, slightly into the wall, and grab it down, move it up to line up with the bottom of the window opening. So let's grab this two, move it up to angle this and bridge these two spaces together. So go to edge mode, double click this edge, and bridge. Now okay. Then let's see why. Alright, it's closed. So we can just take this face and this face and bridge, and that closes that. So now we need to have a split in the middle. So let's create a split in the middle, a subdivision for the window. So let's go back to our multi-cut, go down, Control and Shift on your keyboard, click, Control Shift on your keyboard, click, and then let's double click this line, double click, hold Shift and double click the bottom line. Let's bevel it, then let's reduce the fraction 0.1. Then let's bridge these two faces together, top face, bottom face, bridge. So go to object mode, delete history, Now let's create our window glasses. Grab a cube, bring it out, scale it accordingly. Let's place it properly where we want it. Let's go to front view. The side view, let's scale it properly to be very thin. That's glass sheet. Let's place it where we want on the window side. Let's also scale this. Fair enough. Scale it inward a little. Right, so here's our glass sheet. Place it properly. Scale it down a little. Place it properly. I'm going to duplicate this. Scale it this way. Up that way. Place it as the metal edge. Let's go to vertex mode and just quickly place it right about here. So fine with this. Let's Ctrl D this, duplicate, place at the other side. Now let's take the glass, label this glass. Let's take the glass, duplicate, Ctrl T, place it fairly here, just overlapping the bottom one. Then while we are okay with that, Shift D on your keyboard to repeat. Equal amount of distance, Shift D to repeat. So now we have about 5 glasses. 5 glasses. I just want to grab all these 5 glasses. I'm going to Ctrl G to group it, glass group. Then when I click my scale tool, I don't see the scale manipulator because it's at the origin. So I will need to center pivot and then scale it down, fit, that here. Make sure it lines up with this. Alright, right about here. So now Windows setup, glass setup is done. Window is done. I just need to duplicate this up. One more thing. So I'll grab all glasses and just rotate slightly out. Let's go to side view to see how it looks. So slightly out so that it overlap each other, and that's okay. So with this group selected, the window frame to polycues, Ctrl G to create window group, window. So now I need glass and 2 sidebars, Ctrl G, axis group, and then I will duplicate this, Ctrl D, and center pivot, place this one right about here. Make sure it's properly placed. Okay, that's fine. So we have doors and windows set up. One more thing for the doors group. Click from door frame to door, right click, then shift click that, Ctrl G, create door group, and there's one more thing. We need an inner handle for this. So first of all, door, I'm going to freeze transform for everything, freeze transform. Take the door handle group, center pivot, press Ctrl D, move it inward, and on our x-axis, on our y-axis, sorry, our z-axis, let's press -1 on the scale. So with that, we have it inverted. That's okay here. So I'm taking the door group, center the pivot, Ctrl D, and place it in here. Let's rotate it on the y-axis, -90 on the y-axis. Let's place it properly. On the front view, let's place it between the walls. From the side view, let's place it properly so that lines up. Okay, fair enough. So a little problem here. Let's line it up with the wall. From this angle, let's grab all the vertices here. All the vertices here. Let's move it. Make sure it touches that. Okay. So this is done.